I am 25 female asking, is my boyfriend of 37 years using me?
Background story. 9 months into our relationship, I found out my boyfriend was lying about his age. He told me he was 27 when he was actually 36 at the time. He also looks younger and dresses younger than he actually is. At that point, I was already very invested in the relationship. He gives off this facade that he is very successful, drives a luxury car, has his own place, however, has very bad money management skills. He frequently requests that I buy him stuff, luxury stuff at that. I got him an iPhone, designer sneaker and scarf, yet he had never bought me anything. Once remarked that, if I couldn't afford those stuff, maybe I should be working for him. A year and a month into our relationship, he bought me a perfume and designer scarf for my birthday. At this point, I had quite checked out at the materialism. I do come from a well-off family and have nice stuff, but it is not on my priority list. He expects that I should cook for him all the time and says it is a woman duty, but never does anything for me, not even a cup of coffee or tea. He doesn't like to hug, cuddle, kiss, and our sex life is now at about once a month or even less. He says this is the life of a woman with a busy man. Also, he keeps on requesting me to buy him things, just because. I do not request him to buy me things. Is my boyfriend using me? Edit 1. I have also loaned him money. He still owes me. I dated someone exactly like this, down to they lying about the age part and him actually being 36. I was also 25. Come to find out, the luxury car was a rental. The condo he claimed to live in got foreclosed on when the owner was living there, and my ex was now actually a squatter. When he got caught squatting, he had to move out, so naturally I let him move in with me. Each time rent was due, he would disappear or had an excuse. Once he even lied and said his aunt died and he had to pay for the funeral, which was supposedly the next day. He was supposed to be paying the gas, electric, but he was just taking the bills out the mailbox and hiding them in his car. I didn't find out until I came home and everything was shut off with a balance of $1,250. He lied and told me he had a contract to create a show for *TV, rhymes with HIMTV, and that he needed a presentation. I had my mom create a whole presentation for him and he said they would be flown out to LA to present it. He lied. This is just a small part of the lies he told. He is now in jail, not for fraud unfortunately, but a win is a win. My advice: run. You see the red flags just like I did. I'm begging you not to ignore them. I am still trying to recover from that relationship and it was over 2 years ago. Very traumatic. Either this is an immense troll to bait the sub or this is excruciatingly painfully real. What on earth is keeping you attached to this low-life sexist sack of shit? I truly wonder what is one thing he does for you or to make you happy? This relationship is entirely one-way street straight to his ego. Stop letting this ass abuse you and start loving yourself. Today. The money and gifts you have wasted on him are immaterial at this point and you need to just cut your losses, take the hard-earned lessons and dump this hobosexual trashfire you call a boyfriend. He is definitely using you. Perhaps you can afford spending money on him and supporting him, but this man sounds like he brings nothing positive to your life. You deserve a partner that is an equal, who can hold their own and who will reciprocate every lovely gesture you extend towards them. He is definitely using you and is a fuckboy. Real men don't treat women like this. It sounds to me like he is using you as a trophy. Get a real man that can be and do what he says he is. If he is lying about his age, he probably is lying about other things. Say goodbye to this heartache and hello to the new you. Take some time to heal if need be. Not all men treat women this way. Did this guy try and set up a festival on an island and have a Netflix documentary about him? Genuinely, it sounds like he has problems. I get the impression he's probably putting on a facade, lying about his age, acting the big bollocks when he can't back it up, wanting and expecting the finer things without putting his hand in his pocket, only taking and not giving. Honestly think you'd be better cutting your losses and running to someone who deserves you. I know you say you've lent money, is there realistically any chance of getting this back? Sounds unlikely from what you say at him. Short answer to this is yes. He sounds insane in all honesty, and this doesn't look like it's gonna go away anytime soon. Also, all the red flags here, making you pay for his luxury items, not being affectionate, being bad with money, are not things you are going to wanna deal with long term. And I'm sorry, you have to cook all the time cause it's a woman's job? And he can't even make you a cup of tea? What an absolute prick. Your BF is using you, and at least he's thinking his image is everything and you should help him keeping that image. Fake rich screams, true wealth whispers. He's playing businessman, but I don't think he even knows how to run his own lemonade stand when it comes to it. He just feels he's above that and asks others to buy him a designer scarf because he's sold out for the day. A true business person knows the value and the time and effort it takes to build something up, and having the image of a successful person doesn't mean they should flaunt with everything they have. Be presentable is crucial, but it doesn't mean you should flaunt with every brand name there is. That's just stupid and a walking advertisement on top of that, plus he's being sexist on top of that. Prove him wrong and show him you can easily be without him and he can choke on his scarves. Yeah, I'd say he is using you. He's also horrendously sexist. If a woman wants to cook for her partner, then that's no problem. But the fact that he expects it shitty, plus the fact that he constantly asks you to buy things for him and do things for him yet he's done nothing for you, is a major red flag too. Seems like he either wants the businessman with a young girlfriend dynamic like another commenter said, or he wants a mother. Either way, I'd honestly recommend you run away from him. He should change for the better, but you're in no way obligated to be the one to push him to. His personal growth is his responsibility and no one else's, so you shouldn't stick around, just in case. He expects that I should cook for him all the time and says it is a woman duty. No, it is not a woman's duty to do anything for someone else because you're a woman. Also, he keeps on requesting me to buy him things, just because. If he wants something, he can buy it himself with his own money. Is my boyfriend using me? From what you're writing, it sure sounds like he is using you. Also, he sounds very materialistic and you're not. Why are you even in a relationship with this successful person? I don't see you mentioning any positive traits. I know this will sound crass, but you say that after that first huge lie that you were already too invested. When investments show zero return, you consider dumping them. When investments are actually costing you, and you are gaining virtually nothing to show for it, you take the loss and run. The fact that the first lie, which was huge and troubling and indicative of so much more bullshit to come, didn't convince you, is really troubling. If you were younger, I'd say you were being groomed by a predator. I don't even need to read the whole thing. He's a narcissist. Put him in the bin where he belongs. To any woman reading this, never take any form of disrespect from a man, whether that be lying, name-calling, etc. Never chase a man. Silence is an answer. And just love and respect yourselves. Know your self-worth. You can do better than this. We need to demand more from men and stop letting them get away with this fuckery. Love and light to you. Well, if this isn't using someone, then I don't know what is. He makes you his housewife, expects expensive gifts, he owes you money, and my favorite, he lied about his age. And not just a year or so. A whole damn decade. Please, leave this overgrown baby. And just to clarify, I don't think 12 years old age difference is something that needs to be hidden, and it's kinda creepy he thought he can build the relationship on a lie. But after all, he used the classic manipulation technique. He got you engaged into the relationship and them started revealing stuff, but you were already too deep into it to realize. I've been there too. Yes, it does to me. Lying is the biggest red flag. If you say he also is good at giving off a facade of wealth, then he prob is a good liar, and that is bad. I wouldn't be able to be sure or trust them about anything, and that is what a relationship is: trust and love. Let me ask you this: does he love you? If the answers is anything other than I am sure he does, then there is your biggest hint. Girl, read back what you just wrote and imagine it was a friend asking for advice. One of my favorite quotes is from BoJack Horseman: when you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all those red flags just seem like flags. You need to look past the few good things he's done and recognize how he treats you the majority of the time. Also, even if I didn't read your post, just by your title my answer would have been the same. You are too young to waste your time on his bullshit. He is using you and you know that, so put your foot down, as this is not the way to be in the relationship. He played with you by lying about his age to keep you in this relationship, so do not tolerate this. Keep reminding yourself that you deserve a better man and the treatment. Break up with him no matter how hard it is for you and go on dates when you feel that you are ready for a new relationship. Until that, be alone and take your time to get yourself ready for a new relationship. OMG, how much money did you loan him? I don't think he's going to pay you back. He's using you if he's making you buy him designer and an iPhone at only 1 year of being together. Couples are meant to save together. Also, he tells you it's a woman's duty to cook, but he doesn't buy you things and you, in fact, spoil him. He's going to keep taking from you. Yep, he's a gold digger. He's a liar. He's entitled. He's financially irresponsible. He sounds narcissistic. And he's not even putting much effort into being a gold digger. Rule 1 is, keep your sugar mama, daddy happy, which means attention, sex, and at least the appearance of meeting your emotional needs. Time to dump him. I'm sorry. Hopefully, the next guy you meet is a decent person. And financially secure. Sounds like he is using you to fulfill some sick ideas of what adult life is like. Just dumb the loser. Yeah, he had a luxury car, but how much does he own on it and what's the loan interest rate on that fuck? Also, if that luxury car is 10 years or older, it's not luxury anymore. It's just old. For sure need to look at yourself and think, where is this relationship going? Is it gonna lead to marriage and kids? And if it isn't, then dump the loser and enjoy the rest of your 20s. So what exactly do you get out of that relationship? He lies, costs you a lot of money, and provides next to no physical affection. For what are you in that relationship? Doesn't sound that pleasant, tbh. And he demands luxury items from you but doesn't return the favor. I would say that is using you. Honestly, it sounds like he wants a certain lifestyle of a successful businessman but actually isn't one, so he builds everything else around that to appear like it, including you. The girlfriend from a wealthy family that gets him some luxury stuff he probably can't or won't afford himself. Oh lady, what are you doing to yourself? Wasting your prime years with an old hag. Sex once a month? About the same frequency an old couple with unhappy marriage have. We do it 3 to 5 times a week and we don't even live together, only meet in weekends, ha ha ha. We're 28 and 26 years old. We cuddle all the time, hug, kiss, play and call each other pet names. We both work. Busy man has got to be the worst excuse for being impotent if you ask me. Yeah, he is. From what you've said, there's about 100 red flags. You don't need a man who treats you like a money bag, a cook, and doesn't even give you the love and appreciation you deserve. That's just fucked up. I can sense that you're also pretty fed up with this behavior, so I suggest you royally dumo him. Make it big, humiliate him. He's treated you terribly and he deserves. Yes, he is absolutely using you. TBH, lying about one's age like that is a red flag by itself. Also, he wants you to be both his maid and sugar mama. You are supposed to cook for him and whatnot and buy him expensive gifts? WTF. Even in the more traditional relationships where the woman takes care of the household and so on, the man provides and buys stuff. He sounds like the shittiest boyfriend ever.
Not saying this is necessarily the case, but my thinking would be that he has you as a comfortable safety net who takes care of him while he doesn't have to invest any effort whatsoever, plus he probably has some other woman on a side.
Dear Op, let me put it straight, dump his ass. He is clearly using you, and with what it sounds, you may find he has an affair and you are just a gold pot for him. He lacks emotions and he is highly materialistic. Plus, when he says it's your duty, well, it doesn't sound right to me. Again, I have no intentions to hurt you, but I know you came here for a reason and I don't want to sugarcoat it for ya. Sit him down, list out what he owes you and dump him. You have a greater and nice life waiting for you. If he doesn't respect your existence now, just forget the future. It will get better for sure. Life is larger and beautiful than this shit. You don't need this. Read this to yourself as if a best girlfriend had written it to you. Now imagine 40 years of this nonsense. I have decent wealth and I never talk about it really. I'm fixing up a $3,000 clunker van for a camper for my family. He would have to buy a $160,000 Sprinter. He will likely break you financially. He will need the biggest house and mortgage you will pay for. I know his type. If they make $100K, they act like they make $500,000. The $100,000K is just enough to have money to act like they are killing it. They don't save or invest in the future. It always crumbles on them. They are trying to make up for a low self-esteem or something. You are dating a young kinda DJT. Also, this baby lied about his age. Would you have cared? At his age, making the money he says he does, he should have $400,000 in retirement funds and only needed to make modest monthly contributions. I bet he has $0. He manipulated you from the beginning, and you can be sure he made it so you wouldn't find out his real age and lifestyle until you were very emotionally invested. It's very common with this sort of person. You're part of his facade, and you're worth so much more lovely. You're young and vibrant, and he will suck every bit of joy from you and keep it for himself. It props him up. He's 37. Take it from somebody of a similar age, if he doesn't have his stuff together by then, he never will. He will take your money, take your soul, and destroy you. Please be very careful with sex. Keep any birth control on you so he can't mess with it, and use condoms. Make sure the condoms aren't tampered with. It's disgustingly common for this sort to get women pregnant against their will. It's sexual abuse and designed to trap you. Please talk to your parents or a trusted friend and plan an escape. Don't tell him. They turn dangerous fast. Just make sure you get out of there. I think you already know the answer to your question. I'm sorry you're going through this. If you're still unsure, I suggest you demand back the money he owes you. Make it clear that you'll no longer be funding him in his materialistic requests, and refuse to cook for him. Let him know you expect him to put more effort in. You know, as you're reading this, he'll protest and get angry. And what sort of relationship is that, where he's happy to make you miserable and feel used and underappreciated? He told you he was younger, told you he's successful when he's not, and is now trying to tell you as a woman it's your duty to wipe his fucking ass. Babes, he's treating you like a sugar mama, and he expects the gifts because they make him look successful. There's usually a reason men can't get women their own age. They either see they aren't as easy to control and manipulate as younger women, so they go for younger women and can't get older women if they tried anyway, because you get a nose for bullshit the longer you're in the dating game. He's a loser, and a narcissistic one at that. He's 37. This is who he is. The fact that you feel like he owes you after a year is a red flag. There is nothing wrong with keeping separate finances even after marriage. However, focusing on that shows you don't trust him with finances, and given what you've said about him, I wouldn't either, and that there is very clearly a you and him line. Obviously, relationships take work, and a year is not a long time to iron everything out, but you're clearly at a tipping point, which is not a bad thing. Love is rarely ever enough. You need to be respected and cherished, neither of which he seems to do. He doesn't even seem to know you. And, of course, there needs to be trust and stability. If you lost your job, would you trust him to provide for you? If you got a promotion that made more money than you, would he be happy? If you had children, would he be willing to stay at home if you were the breadwinner? And if a man isn't willing to help out around the house or make you, himself, tea or dinner, if you're American, then he's not after a partner. He's after a mother. Sounds like narcissistic abuse emo, and sounds like he's really insecure and he's trying to pass off as more successful to satiate his ego. You're young and probably cute, and apparently a giver, just what a narc wants to make them feel like they are good enough. Doing less and less for you while making you feel like you should do more is their whole thing. Eventually they discard you for someone who seems to supply more for their ego. Look it up, check out some psychology articles on identifying narcissism, narcissistic abuse, and see if it matches him. Psych major, child of NPD parent, who's dated multiple abusers with cluster B personality disorders. It sounds as though your boyfriend is very insecure and in denial. Whilst you are part of the dynamic of your relationship, it's certainly not your fault that he is the way he is. From what you've said, there are ample reasons to think very seriously about why you should remain in a relationship with this person. Whether he decides that he needs to take a good look at himself is up to him alone. You cannot be the one to take on responsibility for his issues. You don't feel like he is using you. He is using you. Run away as fast as you can. This guy is a scam. Love and relationship goes both ways. It's not about material at all, it's about caring for the other person. Cooking and cleaning is not the woman's job as the necessary an adult person has to do to survive without their mom. I've been in a relationship with my partner for 5 years and we both clean and cook equally. There are some chores he doesn't like to do, like laundry, and I do it in return. He cleans the floors that I don't like doing. Do you really want to take care of a baby for the rest of your life? Or do you want a partner for life? Partner comes from dancing. He has some steps, you have some steps, but you have to be synchronized and work together. Otherwise you'll just stumble with each other and it seems like he has been stepping on your toes all the time, girl. Get away. Even if he wasn't manipulating you, it still sounds like a terrible relationship. In most of these posts there's always something like, oh, but he's so sweet. When he's not stressed he's lovely. But here there is no positive whatsoever. I think you already know the answer. It's just a question of how to break up. My older ex did this to me but started the relationship with telling me he could buy me Kurt Geiger shoes and stuff like that. I'm not materialistic at all, but it then got to the point where I was paying for everything and he'd ask me for 50p cause I had a packet of crisps at his. He was basically failing at life and wanted to be the successful guy with a younger girlfriend. Getting out was the best thing I ever did. Your boyfriend is such a dick. You should cut with him as soon as you can. You deserve way better than this. You only live once. Don't waste your time on someone who doesn't love you and wants you for the money. Make him give you the money he owes you and kick him out of your life. Every single thing that he has done is a red flag. Even if a 15-year husband and wife relationship was on the line, I would still recommend you getting out of it as soon as possible. The possibility of him dating another girl is very high, considering he doesn't want to cuddle, kiss, or barely has sex. He is getting attention from someone else. What in the world made you still interested in the relationship after he lied about something so big but yet so stupid like his age? That was a big red flag. You should have gone running right then. If he isn't using you, he is a shit boyfriend and this relationship should end at that. Do you want him to always be asking you for things? Or making you wait on him? What about this guy keeps you wanting to stick around? It absolutely seems that he is using you. Also, it doesn't seem that you're actually happy in this relationship. I knows this is the crappiest advice ever, but you really should consider ending things with him. Despite being so cheapskate, he seems to be really sexist with all this "women should cook all the time" crap. I definitely advise you to run from this man. He's using you. Sounds like a classic narcissistic personality. I'd like to clarify one thing though. Lying about the age, if you met him online, there is a reason for that. Men will often do that because once they get over 35 they're basically excluded from much of the dating scene. In most cases, it's not that they want to lie, just they know if they don't they're basically shooting themselves in the foot the way most dating site algorithms work. The rest of it though? Yeah, that on the other hand is just a raging hot mess. Totally dump him. I mean, we are strangers on Reddit hearing your side of the story and are only likely to agree with you. It's probably a good outlet for you to get things off of your chest, but it's not going to solve problems for you because we don't know you. We haven't seen what he has to say, we haven't seen how you are together, no data about your backgrounds and what kind of people you are and why. So in terms of helping you, this is pretty useless. If you're serious about this relationship, then you should go to a relationship counselor to help you understand each other and communicate with each other and actually both get what you want. If you don't want this relationship, then obviously don't be in it. Nobody here knows the answer to the question of if he is using you.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video. And if you are new, subscribe and click on the bell icon.